some reflections for me. We've heard from some great people who know a lot more than I do, let's be really honest. So Cass talked about how he wants to share those B20 recommendations, particularly around blended finance, but also the public-private philanthropic partnerships work, and that's really critical. And I'm really hoping that the business philanthropy legacy aspect really works. I think that would be a crucial piece to go forward. And I think, if I heard correctly, it was also around making sure philanthropy isn't showing up as a timid partner to that work. Philanthropy needs to be the brave partner and the one that's taking the risk and leading the field in some of this work. Santiago pointed to Colombia's efforts on around a national policy on philanthropy. That's amazing. If it works, please go to the EU and talk to them, because I think that's essential. So good luck. Valeria reminded us that this is human stuff, right? We've got to remember that we need to put people front and center. That is crucial. And Gunjan gave us a beautiful biology lesson of ecosystems. So thank you for that. And also I think about appreciating different sectors' respective roles and responsibilities and how we need to come together and hold ourselves to account as well. So thank you. And reading through some of this as well and some conversations throughout the day and throughout the week, it's clear it's how do we take this conversation into action? What will we do differently? I think probably like many of you, though you're not all as old as I am, have been at many events and many conversations like this since Busan in 2011, repeating familiar refrains about partnerships, collaboration, unlocking capital. 2025, guys, and the world has changed. We need to move, and we need to move quick. So let's be honest. Communities don't need any more talk from us. They need philanthropy to act. They need us to put our money where our mouth is. They need capital that moves at the speed of their ideas. And they need us to trust that they understand their challenges and that they have the solutions better than we ever could. And they need us to stop building walls. Walls of excuses that slow the flow of funds, walls that keep communities at arm's length, and walls of outdated reporting and needless delays. We've got a real opportunity. We've got a lot of challenges, but there is, out of challenges, out of chaos, comes opportunity. It's not just because the old models are failing and cracks are showing in the global systems, but it's because there's energy and an appetite for change. Yep, I've been in lots of conversations this week and today where it's been a bit doom and gloom, let's be honest. It's about contraction, it's about lack of ODA, ODA's going down, it's about USA, all of these things. But my experience over the past 9 months, if I stand in Johannesburg or Lima or Manila, you don't hear so much doom and gloom. You hear urgency, you hear ingenuity, hustle, and opportunity. People are testing ideas, they're building enterprises, and they're reshaping their communities in real time. The question isn't about whether we're going to move our capital, it's about whether we're going to follow their lead and work with them and match that pace. Now, it's not just about, there's a lot of conversation here about locally led and localization. Now, this is central to our strategy at the Anglo American Foundation, but it's not about just moving money to where it needs to be. It's about actually how do we invest in work that shifts systems and build ecosystems that back or have the potential to back the people already driving change. Yes, that does mean funding local. It means funding that's flexible, long-term and patient, but more importantly, it means investing in local ecosystems that promote and protect civil society, that unlock domestic capital, and support the work that is often more impactful than ours. It's messy, it's slow, sometimes political, and sometimes unforgiving. But our role is not just to stick with it, it is, dare I say it, to be catalytic. So we believe this. We believe philanthropy has to change, and we actually have the choice to change. We're not here to politely fill gaps at the margins. We're here to back and enable ideas. And we're here to fall in love with problems and to fall in love with the organizations that have the solutions to those problems. We're here for the long term to collaborate behind those solutions. We're here to support the ecosystem builders who are building the scaffolding that lets communities thrive. So tangible things for us to do. Alice gave us some really good questions at the start. I would add, how do we build ecosystems and not dependencies? How do we nurture enabling environments for local philanthropy to thrive? And that's not just bog standard philanthropy. I'm talking about impact investing, institutional philanthropy, corporate philanthropy, as well as just regular public giving. How do we back solutions that grow organically? How do we become true partners and not patrons? And how do we celebrate contribution and not chase attribution? Do we have the answers? A perfect playbook? A wonderful, beautiful theory of change? No, sorry. Throw the theory of change out the window for a while, I think. That's probably one tangible action we should do. But we, and I hope many of you, are willing to try something because we have no choice at the moment. There is urgency. We have to try. We learn, iterate, and try again. Now I'll pass over to Peter. Thank you.